Okay, so building a ramp. Here in my side view, I can grab this point right here and be in this view, this geometry mode. So geometry mode in edit. So now in my side view, I can go like this. Should be able to anyway. Oh. There we go. Now, very important, do not collapse these, okay? In other words, don't make this one intersect with that one, because what will happen is you'll never be able to get it back, okay? Always keep at least one distance between these two. Once these 2 points meet, there is no going back. Just a word of warning. This is what I usually do, is I add one unit here, so that when I go back into like maybe a different kind of mode, here's your selection mode, then back to move, I can move the entire object down one. Okay. Okay, what would this be? Well, it would be an additive brush. That's right. So in this case, I'm going to be adding this to the inside of the room here. Okay, let's go take a look at what that just did. Okay, now I have the ability to run down this ramp, and I have a nice little hidey hole or corner over here to hide and wait for them to run down the ramp. It's a good blind spot. Okay, let's play that. Build lighting. Play in editor. Okay, so I can run in here. I can run down the ramp. And I'm over here. Then I can run back up the ramp. But can I fit back into the hole? No. Okay. So, why? Well, you're on an incline. And it's the perfect height of the character. So if you were ducking, you could do it, but we don't want that. So you just have to think of things like this. You know, it seems all too intuitive to run into a perfectly spaced shape, but you get hung up unless you jump. Okay, so that becomes kind of awkward. All right, so how do we fix something like that? Very easy, of course. We just take the ceiling height up a little bit, and we take this up a little bit, and we rebuild. Anytime we rebuild, we have to rebuild lighting. So let's get over this light mask thing, shall we? Now, what I like to do is put a volume out here. So first off, let's make a volume. And this volume is going to be a lot bigger. Okay. So usually what I do is I scale this to about right here, just encompassing my entire level. And we're going to put something in here called a light mass volume importance. So let's click that. Without that, light mass takes a very long time to calculate, so just kind of know that. Okay, now we can build all, and we should be fine. What I generally do is try to get my everything built, and then try to tiptoe around light mass, because it does take a while to start building, and it's one of those things I don't want to deal with all the time. Okay, so let's now play in editor. And everything got like halo-like, you know what I mean? Like everything's so super blue. Well, the reason for this is light mass is taking the light in the room and bouncing it off the blue wall, and now I have a blue ambience in the room. So anytime that you have another texture in here, like a robotic texture or something like that with lots of muted grays, well, the area is going to look a lot better. And here's what's really interesting to know. If I take one of these lights out, let's like I take this one out, for example. Well, no, let's take the one in the little hallway here, in right where I spawn. Let's take that one and delete it. Whoops. Okay, and let's build all again. Okay, and let's play in editor. Ooh, right? A little bit more epic now. Okay, now you're stumbling across this room that has a really bright matrix type of light going on, and you want to go into it because of the fact it's so bright. And the polar opposite occurs on this side. This is a very dark area that is very mysterious looking. I could hide in here very easy. Okay, good stuff. If you want a happy in-between point, well, that's when you start getting to some textures on the walls, and that texture color really does help. Okay, so let's re-add that point light and show you one other thing that I kind of want to show you in this video. If you double click on the light, you can go into light, light component, point light component, and you can turn the radius down if you wanted to. Okay, so the radius wouldn't be so massive. If you look at this is actually a really dull light, but here we have brightness. So if I wanted to turn that down just a little bit to like 0.5, I would have a room that's not so scary looking, and it becomes a little bit more interesting. It's not super bright, it's just muted. So we'll get into lighting, but for these beginning lessons, I really do like to show off a few things to you so you can start exploring them right away. I don't like to hold back just for the simple fact that I might run out of material or something like that. There's no way to run out of material on this. There's so much within the Unreal Editor that it's just ridiculous. There we go. So nice. A little bit muted, and when I'm running in here, it's super bright. Really, for a while, I will not put textures on walls, only because you can get too wrapped up into doing that room by room, and then all of a sudden, it's the flow of things don't match. So I'm going to show you how to put a texture on a wall, but please note that you should always work on the actual level design part first, just because the flow is a lot better, and then start texturizing and detailing out rooms via static mesh. Okay? All right. So let's move on to the next video where we'll explore some more.